Welcome to the Stanley Street Social Podcast presented by MAP. Well, not podcast, Daily Unpack. It's just a routine thing now, Campbell. My name's Alex Clements. I'm here with Campbell Flayton to talk about the Giro TT, the first real showdown we've seen in a while for the TT boys. They've been going at it pretty much every stage, it seems like, but last night, the race against the clock, there's nowhere to hide. There were a couple of big standouts. We saw two races, the race for the time trial victory and then the GC race within it. No surprises, first of all, on the actual stage itself. Ganas smoked the TT. He is the king at the moment. He is dominant.
Yeah, no surprises, really. I mean, we the only thing we were concerned about was that it's day 14 of the Giro. Maybe that had a little bit of an impact because he only won by 26 seconds from his teammate Rowan Dennis.
Still, we put 26 seconds into Rowan.
I know. It was incredible. And there was a little congratulations from Rowan. I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was like a congrats, mate. Like, but I'm not going to beat you ever again. Kind of congratulations.
Yeah.
Like I think I've seen the new wizard of TTing. And he can do it all. He's won a pretty tricky mountain stage with over 4,000 meters. So let's see what he can do going forward. But there's probably another stage for him awaiting on stage 21 if he can get that far. So 4 stages in a Grand Tour in your debut Grand Tour. It's outrageous.
It's not bad at all, is it? It's not a bad entry into the sport, but also just the hot year that he's come off. Like the world, he came into the Giro with 4 TT wins or something. It's been a big signing for Team Ineos.
Yeah.
Where does Rowan go from now?
I mean, knowing Rowan, he'll keep chipping away, try and be better. I only see Ghana is going to get better too.
That's the problem.
So, yeah, I'd like to see. I'd like to see a World Championships over 50K. Could be a different story, but yeah, I guess Rowan's just got to keep chipping away, and if they're on the same team, I guess they can go to different races and win separately. So I think he'll be okay. And what's Rowan won? He's won 2 World Championships already, so he's ticked that off. But this guy, big rider.
In terms of the GC battle, the second race within the race, that's the other theme that's been continuous throughout this Giro. It seems like we've always had 2 races, the breakaway going to the line a lot and the GC boys going ham behind.
Mm-hmm.
Similar today. We touched on McNulty. We touched on his under-23 World Time Trial Championship. We probably didn't touch on it that much. He was super impressive. 3rd on the stage, a minute 9 off Ghana, but really the reference point for the GC boys, the guy that was within reach, and he's picked up 7 places on the overall in one stage.
He's helped himself to 4th.
Yeah.
And now he's 2:23 behind Joao, who I'm sure we'll touch on very shortly. But yeah, McNulty, first year pro, and another young rider on UA Emirates, who I think he's 22, born in 1998. So, we thought this Giro was going to be the old dogs coming out to play, Nibali's, Fulsangs, et al. But we got 2 22-year-olds in the top 4. So, very impressive from McNulty, who's been chipping away kind of all Giro, just picking up bits and pieces here and there. He's never really been considered as a threat. But what he did last night in the TT, jumping up 7 places, I think everyone's going to be looking at him now, and there'll be no jumping clear at the end of stage, just picking up a few scraps.
Yeah. I'm just looking up where he was on Etna. A minute A minute 37 down with Hindley, Zakarin.
So he was fine. He was
He was
very fine.
he was around the mark. He was around the mark. He
Yeah.
was not far off.
Yeah.
But last night, stamped his authority.
Big time.
UAE too, as a team, continuing to dominate. Throw like off the stage win last night, threw themselves back in the GC today. We thought it was going to be all about the POG for 2021, but McNulty just put his hand up and said, "Boys,
hang on.
I'm also here." Yeah.
Hang on.
Don't get too excited. I'm still here.
Yeah, exciting. Very exciting for them. Big time.
I guess the two main standouts, McNulty and João Almeida.
Yeah. Well, I think
big, not surprise based off his opening time trial, but still, jersey on his shoulders, a lot of pressure. What are we up to? Stage 14 of the tour. He's been in the lead for a long time. We're starting to get to the back end of the Grand Tour. Very impressive for mine.
Yeah, I think based off what we've seen, not only on the first day where he was second in the TT, but every time he's been challenged, he's been up to it. And I think we said yesterday he was going to hold the jersey, no problems there. He only lost time to McNulty on the GC front, came ahead of Kelderman, who we thought was probably going to be his closest rival. So, I mean, it's crazy to say that it wasn't a surprise for us, but I mean, if you had said this at the start of the Giro that João Almeida was going to be in the pink jersey on stage 14 in the TT and be leading to Kelderman by 56 seconds, you'd be sent off to some institution.
Even like after the first 3 or 4 days of him holding the jersey, we weren't sold on him. We weren't like, oh my God, this guy's going to be leading at the TT.
Is it going to come unstuck? Is it going to come unstuck somewhere? Are the old dogs, when it gets snowing, when it's 200k mountain stages, when it's stage 17, 18, is it all going to become too much for the young Portuguese?
No, I don't think so.
You're backing him in from here. You're going to say right here, right now, he's going to win. He's going to win the Giro.
I don't think it's going to be the old dogs. I think he's going to win the Giro.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think if it gets to Milan, I don't think he wins. I don't think he wins the Giro.
Where does he come unstuck?
Haven't had a real good look. I don't know the parkour like the back of my hand, but
what kind of situation?
He's just gonna come unstuck. His legs are just gonna come out from underneath him at one point, and our boy, he's gonna become our boy because he did an incredible TT last night for him. Domenico, the 37-year-old, 40-kilo Italian, is going to come and tear strips off the third week, as is Vincenzo. Typical third week for him, shark week, if you will. He's going to come out, taking some chunks out of some of these younger boys. So I think he comes unstuck. I'd really like to see him win, but I just think it might get too much for him at some point.
Yeah,
happy to be wrong. Very, very, very happy to be wrong here. By the way,
there's a bit going on in that 2-minute mark. So João and Wilco are kind of João's winning, Wilco's at 56 seconds, and then there's a lot going on. Bilbao's still there. McNulty's just helped himself to 7 places last night. Nibali's at 2:30. Micah's at 2:33. Pozzovivo's at the same time. Masnada somehow 8th overall. Yes. Like Conrad's there. Hindley's in 10th.
Yeah.
This is a really good Giro. If you considering that their favourites crashed out, the whole Mitchelton and Jumbo Visma squad have left the race. This is a pretty hot bike race for what we've got left.
Yeah. Yep. It's almost good when the favourites go home, isn't it? Because then it just becomes unpredictable. It becomes open season. Everyone thinks they're a chance. So it's not the worst thing. But just touching on a few of the other boys that are around the GC, everyone was pretty similar. Vincenzo 2:54, Pozzovivo 3 minutes, Micah 2:37, Fulsang 3:13. So everyone there was no one that had a shocker. If anyone had a shocker out of the group, it was probably Jai Hindley, 3:39 off the leaders. So that's best part of 2 minutes to more to Joao and Brandon. So we were a little bit worried about the TT for Jai, and it's probably proved to be a bit of a problem for him. But the way he's climbing, I think he's going to keep chipping away and can hopefully stay in that top 10 come Milano.
Yeah. What did you make of Pozzovivo's TT? Got a question here from Thomas, who we were talking about yesterday. If you missed it yesterday, we were talking about Pozzovivo. If he had a contract to sign of how much time he would lose, it would be 1:30. And if you look at it, so let's say I'm not including McNulty because that was the exceptional, like in the GC guys. I know he's there, but I'm just pushing that to the side.
Yeah.
Like Zhao at 1:30, he lost 1:30.
Yeah. Yep. So he signed it.
So he signed their contract, yeah.
He lost exactly 1:32 to what we'd probably say the reference point. Like you said, we'll put McNulty to the side because that wasn't, I don't think anyone really saw him doing a TT that impressive. But
even to McNulty, it was only just under 2 minutes.
Yeah. So over that distance, over 40-odd minutes, that's a very impressive TT from Domenico. I always thought Jakob Fulsang could do a better TT than that.
Did you hear Did you hear Brad Wiggins on the commentary?
What did he say?
He was fair. He was fair laying into Jakob. Just like,
was he?
Why is he? The biggest thing, which I thought was funny, was he was ripping into him about taking a bidden. He had a bottle on his bike and he's taking a water, and Brad's just going, "It's a 40-minute effort. You don't need a bottle for that. Like the good guys aren't doing that." It's pretty good.
And Brad probably knows what he's talking about when it comes to TTs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it's not like Jakob is like a 50-kilo climber. He's Danish, got a little bit of that just natural
strength,
Nordic strength. You expect a little bit more from him, especially if he was looking to take some time back on some rivals today.
And he needs to take some time back.
He needed to, and he's gone backwards. And losing time to Domenico is not what you want in a TT. But yeah, big TT from Domenico, and it shows that he's going to be attacking this third week hard.
The other GC boys, as you said, was kind of no real surprises. Everyone was around the mark.
Yeah. Yep. Just trying to see if there's any other talking points, but I think
the only other one I wanted to touch on, Teo Gegenhardt pushed himself up a place.
Yeah,
pretty solid time trial against the clock. 2:24 down, same time as Victor Capanans.
Yeah, and ahead of Michael Bjerg, who is the 3-time under 23 TT champion of the world, who would have been going hard at this. So very impressive from Teo. He's got the leadership role. Geraint Thomas crashed out, perfect for him. I thought they probably needed to give him a genuine leadership role sooner rather than later, especially when there's guys that are 21, 22 winning Grand Tours. Teo at 24, 25, probably time to start getting some real experience into him. So I think the way he's going, the way he attacked 2 nights ago, he's going to be really around the mark coming into this third week, especially in the climbs.
Yep. Should we move on tonight? On to tonight?
Yeah, sure.
Stage 15. We've talked about this a bit. We talked about the last night and tonight a lot. The time trial into the first mountaintop since Etna. And it's not just a mountaintop. They've got 2 Cat 2s to manage beforehand.
3 Cat 2s.
Sorry, 3 Cat 2s and the final climb. What do you think? GC showdown?
I mean, is there going to be a team that's going to want to keep it together for the stage win? Probably.
I don't know. Is this just going to be the trend for the rest of the Giro, that there's always the breakaway is always going to win, and there's just going to be a GC showdown behind?
I think so. We'll roll the dice on the breakaway shortly, but I think we're going to see some big gaps on this last climb. There's going to be some big attacks. We've been talking about stage 14, stage 15 all tour as like get to that and then reshuffle the deck. So then we're going to see some attacks from all those guys that are struggling a little bit. Nibali, Pozzovivo, Full Sung. Probably looking at those 3 really to get stuck in.
Pozzovivo in particular.
I think Domenico, the way he's put the team on the front the last couple of days hasn't all gone right for him. He had that puncher untimely the other day, but probably looking at Domenico to go clear from all the rivals and try and put at least 30 seconds or so into Joao this evening.
Yeah. On Full Sang, to Adam's question here, has he ever done a good general on a grand tour? I know he's won the 1 week races, but has he ever cashed in on a podium or something in a grand tour?
I don't think so. I don't know what he's best.
It seems like every year we're talking about him.
I concur. It's never quite come together for him. I don't believe. I'm just looking now, seeing if there's been a top 10 somewhere, 12th in the Tour de France a couple of years ago.
He's won Dauphiné twice. So that's always like a big indicator heading in. I guess that's where we're talking about him, about the tour.
Yeah. There's just a lot of DNFs in the Tour de France, not making it through the second week. So to answer your question, I don't think he's been top 10. Might be wrong. Only gone back to 2016. 2015. So no, we're getting bogged down. But anyway, I think it's always kind of stuck for him. So I don't know why we always talk about him, but when you win the Dauphiné, you're probably going to get talked about as someone that could potentially go and win a 3-week tour.
Yeah. Yeah. So tonight, GC wise, what do you think? Who's going to come out? Who's going to come out a winner tonight?
Pozzovivo is going to come out a winner. Yep. I think Brendan will be good. McNulty, he's been really good. Obviously, he's still got strong legs from the TT. Going to take a lot of confidence out of that. So he's coming up well. And yeah, I think Joao loses a little bit of time tonight to probably Domenico, maybe some others.
And the stage winner?
Have you got those raffle tickets, Andy?
Yeah, I'll pick out your number.
Thanks.
And there's a chance that your number's not in the race. With the amount of omissions. Also, on the commentary, they're talking about all this testing the Giro's doing, and all of a sudden the coronavirus has just removed itself from the peloton.
It's going to be quiet, hasn't it?
It's gone awfully quiet.
It's gone quiet.
We've gone really from quiet. Is this race going to finish EF writing letters to the UCI to we're getting to Milano, boys.
Breakaway.
I don't even like this.
What do you mean?
I just don't even like punting on the breakaway because I'm literally guessing. Process of elimination of who's on the general and teams in support for them.
I'm gonna go two names. I'm just gonna go two names. I've been talking about this guy for a little bit. Hasn't really had a chance to do it. I'm gonna go Matteo Fabro from the break. As well as someone who we rip into, who probably gets what he deserves from us, is Ilnur Zakarin.
Where is Ilnur on the general now?
I don't even know. I don't even know where he is.
I think he's still around the mark.
Is he?
He's not on the mark, but he's around the mark.
Where is he at?
Hang on a second.
Where's Ilnur?
GC.
Talk to me about Ilnur.
Zakarin, he's 17th, but he's 17 minutes down.
Yeah. Yep. And he did an okay TT last night. So it shows that the legs are good. In saying that, it'd be interesting, if he was thinking about today, would have he gone full gas in the TT? Maybe not. But anyway, those are going to be my two from the breakaway, and throw in someone from EF too.
Yeah. It's always there's got to be an EF option there.
Yeah.
Jimmy Whelan potentially is what Adam's picked on the Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go with Harm Van Hook. Lot of Sudar rider, hot in the first week, slipped off the GC. We'll be looking for an easy TT last night.
Mm-hmm.
Be looking for the breakaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that guys like Ben O'Connor probably is not going to get the luxury to head up the road?
I think unfortunately for Ben, it's all over. Pozzovivo is the man.
Yeah. And it looks like Ben's been one of the last couple of guys who's going to stay with him. So he's talking about getting a contract and stuff. Like it's a good way to show your worth if you can be there with a big GC leader. Cameras are on you with the 20 guys left. It's still just as good as probably not winning a stage, but people can see that you're helping out a leader late in the race. It's good.
Is it almost better in terms of the variables? Like winning a stage is so hard. There is so much that has to go right. Whereas if you've got Domenico in the lead, there's good energy, there's good intent from the team. You've got a clear role. You're his last man. You're on the TV. You're seen by the DSs.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you can string it together for the whole last week, then there's a lot of value.
And be his man in the back end.
Yeah.
The other one, Dylan Sunderland on that squad, looking for a kick as well.
Yeah. Thing for him is, as a first year, you're the gopher. You're first on the front. You're getting dropped with 100K to go. So
it's just the worst of both worlds.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't get your opportunities, and you're going out the hoop early.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word. That's an absolute nightmare Nito per year.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah. The other one that Dave McFarlane points out was Thomas de Gent ran, I think, fourth in the end last night, sitting in third until Brandon came hooking through.
Yeah.
He's always fourth in the TT.
He's
always been around the mark, but he
has.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. He loves the TT.
He's doing whatever he wants.
He actually is. He actually is doing whatever he wants. Well, I think Lotto, they don't really have much of a direction at the moment.
No.
In this Giro. So I guess, help Sagan out, have a crack in the TT, just do whatever you want.
Should we go to the Rondi?
Yeah, have a little look at the Rondi, which is on tonight.
Flanders is on tonight. Also, I noted too, SBS. So we're jumping from the GCN app to SBS, back on SBS tonight. 6:40 kicks off coverage.
Does it? That's in less than 60 minutes.
Exactly. It's wild. So that's nice.
Yeah, it is.
and a lot of time too to suck you in. That's what you need, I think, to get through this kind of, especially with daylight savings kicking in, to get through these races. You need a race like tonight where you can get sucked in from the get-go. And you need full coverage, which we've got.
You just go through all the number ones on the team sheet. It's a big race tonight. Everyone's here.
Yeah.
All the big boys are here.
It's a big race.
It's a big race.
You're not wrong here. Look at that.
It becomes
even Mark Cavendish is on the start list.
Yeah. It becomes almost bigger. It does. It becomes bigger now because of
with no
Paris-Roubaix. So this is the big one for these cobbled specialists, and hopefully we don't see Mathieu and Wout van Aert just attack each other all day and mark each other out of the race. Hopefully it doesn't come down to those two, marking each other out of the race. I want to see them in the finale going for the win.
I think those two would have learnt a lot after what happened last week.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. But yeah, this is a hot deal.
Julian is doing it as well. I think might be his debut.
Yeah.
Here. Flanders. Just going through some of the other names. Pedersen, Trentin, Bettiol, Tim Wellens, Nason, Kung, Eddie the Boss. Can we talk about him? Maybe not. Tej Benoot, Kwiatkowski. It's probably to the extent. I guess Mitchelton have a few strong boys. Bauer, Durbridge, Edmondson, Jules Jensen, but they're probably those tier 2 kind of riders. Probably don't expect them to be there in the final 20. So,
Christoph,
just feeding off of that UAE energy in the gym.
Big UAE energy at the moment.
Yeah, massive energy coming out of the Middle East.
It'd be interesting to see how Julian goes.
It will be.
Look at that squad, though. How good's that squad?
Yeah.
That
you just know
squad.
That they're not going to miss a beat all day.
There's a lot going on there. And
they're going to be ahead of the fight all day, all night.
And we were looking at our Giro preview, looking at their squad, the Quick Step squad in the Giro preview, going, not a lot there. Maybe James Knox for a stage.
This is where all the boys are at.
Yeah, this is where the big boys are at.
Yeah,
this is
a lot of pressure on them. This is the
such
biggest
a
race
hot start list. Yes,
but for De Koenig, they've got a new sponsor on board just for this race.
It must be so big there.
This is their race. I mean, for them to win this, it's worth everything. So there's a reason why all the big boys are here. They got the Champion du Monde here. But yeah, I'm sure they're going to be putting guys like Asgreen and Lamparts and Steeber up the road in that kind of false finale, 60, 70k to go, looking to take the pressure off. So it'll be up to the other teams to make sure they follow those moves. I'm just looking at some of the other squads. They go as deep? Probably not.
No one goes as deep.
Yeah. So
and it always comes back to that numbers game, which
they'll be looking to use their numbers early.
Yeah. Minimum 2-1 quick step riders.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's your tip? Give me your tips. Who's your tips? Tips coming in. Bring me your tips in.
I think Wout would have learned a lot from him and Van der Poel going head to head and Pedersen getting away the other day.
Yeah.
I think there'd be a lot gained from that.
Mm-hmm. That's not your tips, though, is it?
Pedersen's obviously in hot form. It's hard to go past Quick Step with their depth, but who do you pick?
I'm gonna go Casper Asgreen to win.
Through obviously he's strong as an ox, but also through the numbers dynamic.
Just through right place, right time, numbers into Alia. He'll pop himself in the right move and be there. But if it was a 243.3 kilometer time trial around the roads of Flanders, it'd be Wout van Aert. But as we've seen the last couple of classics, it's always not the strongest guy that wins. I wish it was, but it isn't. So expect to see him and Mathieu there fighting it out. But I'm just going to go Asgreen just off of the numbers that Quickstep are probably going to have there in the finale.
The last year's champion too, Bettiol's heading up EF Pro Cycling as well. Not a bad little classic squad they've got there.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of experience. Van Mark, Kukelair, Sebastian Langeveld. I mean, we're talking about guys that were involved in finales in the early 2010s there. So a lot of experience. Still waiting for your tip.
Yeah, I know. As Dave McFarlane said, it's also get out your raffle tickets for the VV.
Because
it's a bit of a lottery.
Unlike the Giro Tapper tonight, that really is a raffle. This is less of a raffle.
This isn't a raffle through every rider that's not on the GC. This is a raffle of just the top few guys on each team sheet.
There's probably 20 really good guys here tonight.
Yeah. I think Wout van Aert's going to win, Campbell, but he's going to be cold-blooded. He's going to be cold-blooded.
Okay.
He's going to put himself in the move. There's going to be 90 quick-step guys there, and he's not going to be anywhere near as animated as he was.
Yep.
The other week.
Do you think there's a chance of Mathieu throwing himself into that? I heard Nick Schultz talk about this, the false finale, that 70K mark where guys start going up the road and they can be dangerous. Do you think he might look towards that? He did that in
maybe
Big
that's
Bank.
where that's maybe where Mathieu and Van Aert go. This is where we race. It's especially Mathieu, like long range, wild moves that no one else would really consider except for him. That's his wheelhouse.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Ronde.
We're not giving anywhere near enough attention to Mads Pedersen either.
No, again, I mean, he's come off the back of winning last week against all these guys, and the form he showed at the Tour, the form he showed very recently.
Yeah.
Strong team as well. Pretty strong team.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Team Sunweb.
Tiege. Soren Krah Anderson. Smokey.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at as a Smokey. I was sifting through his archives though. He's never really performed in the classics. A couple of top 30s. Yeah. But he's also never come off a back-to-back Tour de France stage wins. And we talk about there's good energy coming out of the UAE squad. There's also some good energy coming out of Team Sunweb following their victory. So that'd be interesting too. We even in like Van Baal, Luke Rowe, Kwiatkowski not even getting a mention on Ineos.
Either's Nicky Terpstra. Total direct energy.
I love that Astana just take it.
He was Classics king.
I love that Astana have just taken 6 riders.
Yeah, just fulfilling their
just ticking the UCI box. Yeah, Nicky Terpstra, can he throw back the clock? I think Nicky Terpstra thrived in that, as every rider does, thrived in that quick step wolf pack when he had 13 teammates to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was super good, but yes, his team was also good at the same time.
Yeah. See what happens.
Alex Edmondson to put himself in the early move.
Possibly.
Derbo to show his stripes.
Yeah.
From an Australian point of view.
Yep.
You see this comment on screen, Campbell?
Trenton
could. Could he save CCC's sponsorship?
I mean, they're done. I mean, the team's done. But
they're there. The team's done. But just from a
reputation or
yeah,
you go down in history as a team that World Tour team that's won the least. This could save it. A win in the Ronde. It means a lot.
Disappointing. GVA's not there.
Big time. Yep. Absolutely.
All right. We could talk about the start list all day.
Yeah, we could.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Campbell. Thanks for all your questions. Much appreciated. We hope you enjoyed dual racing tonight. And if you didn't have enough racing on at the moment, apparently the Welter starts in 2 days as well, with one of the hottest GT start lists of the year. So, yeah, the Welter's on. We'll be back here at when's the rest day? After
today, I believe.
After today. The good thing about after the rest day is Jai Hindley's joining us on the Daily Unpack / podcast. So we'll get a little bit of insight into that Team Sunweb on the rest day. Tune in 5:30 YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
See ya.